college basketball, celebrating our 25th season.
Duke should have its game face on tonight, coming off of only its second loss of the season at North Carolina State. And Wake will be basking in the glow of a much-needed big win over Cincinnati this weekend. This game is available in high definition on ESPN HD, brought to you by Best Buy and Phillips. From a sold-out Joel Coliseum in Winston-Salem, it's number 3 Duke against number 15 Wake Forest on ACC Wednesday, presented by Staples. Duke is still number 1 in the ACC, and now it's by 2 games in the loss column because North Carolina State has just been beaten by Clemson, while the Deacons are part of that 5-team logjam fighting for 3rd place in the ACC. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us from Winston-Salem. Just another easy game in the ACC, Duke and Wake.
I'll tell you one time again, the ACC is the best. 7 teams will get a bid. We have stars here tonight. On the perimeter, we got 2 super point guards. We talk about the play of Chris Duhon. Had 14 assists in the first matchup. Chris Paul had 30 points in his last game. But, Mike, I really believe the difference in this game will be the front court play. That's the battle that's got to take place. For Duke to win, Sheldon Williams is going to have a big game on the interior. And for Wake to win, they're going to need help from Danilus and Eric Williams.
And Sheldon Williams had the huge game in the first meeting between these 2 teams in Durham. The front court for Duke dominated that ball game. The 3rd member of our team, Doris Burke, will work the sidelines for us. Let's check in with Doris right now.
Well, Mike, one could certainly make an argument that point guard position is the single most important in all of college basketball. We have seen our share of quality lead guards this season. The new generation, Chris Paul from Wake Forest, Mustafa Shakur at Arizona, and Drew Lavender at Oklahoma, and the elder statesman Jameer Nelson of St. Joe's, Andre Barrett, and Chris Duhon. And when you talk about experience, it's been the senior leadership that has made all the difference. Up top, Chris Paul and Drew Lavender, they got out to great starts, 11-0 and 10-0 guys, but both guys had teams that struggled in 4-game losing streaks in January. For Jameer Nelson, he flirted with the NBA, he comes back, he's led this team to a number 2 ranking, undefeated. And for Chris Duhon, guys, his experience has made all the difference. Much maligned a season ago, but he has been everything Duke could ask this year.
And Doris, you won't find a coach in this league who will tell you I can win in the ACC without great guards. You don't have great guards, you're dead meat.
Well, you're not going to win in college basketball today. Perimeter play is so big. Doris alluded to the senior leadership of Duhon. He's the 3rd winningest player at Duke of all time. Battier, 131 Ws. Leitner, 122. Duhon, 113. Where's my guy, Jay Billis? I love Jay Billis. Fowler. Billis is not in the top 3. What an environment tonight. This place is rocking, Mr. Patrick.
Tell you what, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at the beginning of the season were not in the top 2. That was Duke and North Carolina as far as the preseason pollsters were concerned. But Wake Forest, even without Vitas Danilus, who has not played well all year long, Wake Forest has got a chance to really do great things in this conference and in the postseason.
Well, Danilus finally had a good game against Cincinnati.
Right.
His 2nd good game of the year, Georgia Tech being the only other one.
Williamson low against a double team. Tries to drop it down low, and Levy makes the steal out to the freshman Chris Paul. 30 points against Cincinnati, along with 7 rebounds.
Williams played so poorly against North Carolina State, had only 4 points. Randolph was shut out. Their front court was non-existent.
Gray got by J.J. Redick, and the sophomore from Charlotte, who's averaging 15.7 points a game, gets the first bucket of this one.
They struggled when he lost his touch from the perimeter, Gray. They need him to excel.
And Wake Forest needs to play superior defense. People at times this year have been able to light them up from outside, and Duke can light up anyone from outside.
Duke's really effective when they got great balance inside, outside going.
Very physical so far. Ewing with a leaner. Justin Gray was bumping him around.
One of the most underrated players in the conference. Ewing plays in the shadow of Duhon and Redick.
Gray loose ball picked up by the Blue Devils. Dang ahead to Ewing. Reddick, pull-up jumper inside the three-point line. Couldn't hit it. Here comes Chris Paul. Quickly back to Gray. A great outside shot. He misses. Reddick clears.
Duke coming off that loss to North Carolina State. Fell behind early, made a gallant effort at the end. But State was brilliant, and then they had a letdown today, losing to Clemson.
You turn your head in this league, it's over. They turned their head at Clemson, and the Tigers certainly much better this year.
This conference so tough from top to bottom, as Jay said earlier. 8-8 in this league, man. You really special.
Levy, ball's blocked. Boy, they're letting him play tonight. And Skip Prosser is up on his feet. Did not care for the call at all. Ewing. Williams, great position inside. Paul was the only one near him. And then he's fouled by Visser. The freshman came down, prevented the layup, but draws the foul.
They're really playing on the inside. Look at the contact. There it is, going to the deck. It's going to be physical here tonight. Coach K, a Hall of Famer on that sideline. 21-2. The numbers just are marvelous.
Seems to do it every year. He has dominated the ACC the way no one else has dominated this league.
They got 3 potential head coaches sitting next to him in Dawkins, Collins, and Wojciechowski.
And there is Skip Prosser, who has done an exceptional job. He's won more than 60 games in 2.5 seasons here at Wake Forest since succeeding Dave Odom, who's having an excellent year in South Carolina.
Did a great job at Xavier, had the big win over Cincinnati. That's special to him, having coached in Cincinnati at Xavier.
Danilus, who gets the start tonight. Williams not starting anymore. The big guy's been coming off the bench. Visser very smooth for a young freshman. Great post move.
We really liked him, Mike. Remember, he came in the game and wasn't a difference against the Terps. He was the difference on the inside, replacing Williams.
Duhan and you just can't let him go that far without challenging it.
Too easy. Got right to the rack. No defense. Took it up strong. Made that great play against North Carolina, going coast to coast to win the game in overtime.
Williams, good defensive anticipation, reached around, made the steal. Reddick, good step out to prevent him getting a look.
Got to get right up in his face.
Well, I tell you, Wake's being aggressive defensively. Levy knocked it away. Duhan somehow got it back.
Levy playing on Duhan with that great size and long arms. Little interesting matchup having Levy play Duhan instead of Paul.
Well, the players recognize right away the officials are going to let him play, and they're taking advantage of it. Paul back the other way, 2-on-3, tries to take it in on Williams, or Deng, and Deng had great position. The ball's knocked out of bounds.
I'm going to tell you who might be a difference here tonight. He's sitting on a bench right now, Eric Williams. I was watching him in a warm-up, and he is going to be ready to play tonight for Wake Forest.
Bray trying to get in, kicks it outside. Danilus rims one. Danilus needs something to help build his confidence. It's been a very poor year for him with a high ankle sprain, missed a lot of preseason practice, missed several games, and his game has just not come together. Williams, boy, he's hacked by Levy. And Levy says, no, I didn't do it, but you could hear the forearm being slapped.
Well, nobody ever commits a foul. But you're right about Danilus. He has really struggled mentally from the injury factor early in the season, and he's never been able to get going. Had a good performance in the game against Cincinnati and had a big performance against Georgia Tech, but those are only his 2 shining moments thus far.
Randolph and Horvath will check in for Duke. You know, Dick, he had a very good sophomore year, improved dramatically from his freshman season, and Skip Prosser thought he was ready to be a real primetime player.
Well, all the coaches did as well. He was picked preseason All ACC.
That's right. Well, he's second team a year ago. Here, away from the ball, we had action with Reddick, and I'm not sure who.
This is early in the game, man. They're jumping on this early right now.
Was it Chris Paul?
Reddick for a foul.
See if we can see it.
Oh, he just swung by. Yeah, he pushed him out of the way.
Can't do that.
Can't do it with the ref looking right at you.
There's something about physical play, but you can't go swinging arms, forearms, and hands.
Not right in front of the official. They better calm down, play some hoops here tonight. And these refs better take control early because this thing can get a little bit out of control. Got Duhan on Paul, shut him down big time in the first matchup.
Offensive foul against Wake Forest. The ball will go to Duke. Skip Prosser wants to know what's going on. Levy gets his second, and then Skip Prosser picks up a technical. Reddick will shoot the technical, and why not? He's the best free throw shooter in the country, 97.1%.
I believe he got the tee because he was out of the coaching box.
Well, they don't call that. Dick, if they called everybody for being out of the coach's box, we'd never have coaches at games.
But he was really way out of it, Mike. He was up here. Look at Johnny Dawkins.
8-4 Duke. The foul on Levy, of course, was a non-shooting foul, and Skip Prosser trying to get his money's worth. Tell you what, Chris, that letdown that they had after that great emotional win over Duke, they just can't sustain it for that second straight game.
Well, see, that's a lack of being a mature basketball team, because you got to be able to be hungry every time you play. As you got a foul on Levy there, and then Mr. Prosser was thrown for a technical for stepping out of the coaching box. The bottom line is, if you want to be a good basketball team, Mike, and be a special team, you got to rise to the occasion, not only when you're playing against somebody super. I mean, you got to beat Clemson.
Trent Strickland checks into the ballgame. It has been so tough for teams to win on the road. Dang, blocked by Visser. Freshman against freshman. Duke's been the only team that can win on the road in this conference this year.
Chris Fowler was talking about that early, about the fact that there's only 9 wins by everybody on the road, and Duke itself has got 5 of them. 5 wins on the road.
Pass intended for Danilus, picked by Shavlik Randolph. 4 turnovers early for Wake Forest. Can't do that against Duke. They don't need the help.
They're really matching up on Reddick. They try to find him everywhere he goes on the floor to take away that open look for that 3.
And the tough little guard, Justin Gray, is the man who's going to guard him. Dang to Horvath, and Horvath, quick off his feet, put it in.
Horvath getting some minutes here. Mike not happy with the performance of Randolph and Williams in the game against NC State. They played without a baseline in that game. I love this kid. Paul is a sensational player for a young kid. A lot of pressure. He has to do it all the time here. They need him. He's so valuable to this team at the point guard slot.
Danilus will pick up the foul by Shavlik Randolph and go to the line for 2. Let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Mike Krzyzewski has got an unbelievable record when he's coming off of a loss. In fact, if you go back to 1997, 1998, his average margin of win after a loss is +22, and his record in those games, 19-2. It's been remarkable. I don't think, guys, they play at a high level for Coach Krzyzewski, and certainly after a loss, the motivation is there, guys.
They don't react real well to losing in Durham, do they? Danilus at the line. The Lithuanian gets the roll.
They haven't lost too often with Mr. Krzyzewski at the control.
No, following wins or losses.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, so young and so deserving.
10-6, Duke with the early lead. Deng, the stellar freshman. And it's going to come down to freshman of the year between Deng and Paul, both on the court tonight.
2 outstanding players. I think this kid's ready to play tonight.
Misses the first. Williams gets the rebound and puts it in. He is 275 pounds and is a load in the middle.
Mike, I told you earlier, I was watching him in a warm-up. He is really ready mentally here. You could feel it in his body language before the game.
And Sheldon Williams is down.
This would be a major loss for Duke. Look at him on the interior. He just earned this deuce. There he is. Now watch the second effort. The big guy goes back up again. He's got a lot stronger this year. He's been a little bit of a slump, a shooting slump.
Now look at Sheldon Williams. He is going to literally walk off the court while the play is still going on. Let's see if we can tell where he got hit. That happened after that part of the replay.
Eric Williams really had a big game against Cincinnati with 12 points. We're going to see the play on the interior.
Now watch Sheldon Williams. He's going to turn. The game's still going on, and he is going to walk off the court. He is in real pain. Saw him a couple of games ago. Went down hard on his right hip. Has not been able to practice full time since then.
Yeah, Mike said both. He and also Dane were hurt in practice and missed some time.
Full court pressure here with a score 12-8.
Got a
Paul trying to press Duhan.
Piper Dandy against the senior.
Dang, so smooth, so smooth for a freshman. Williams gets the rebound. He hasn't started the last couple of ball games. Paul, great pass to Strickland.
Oh, what a great look to Strickland. Strickland had a big game here last year. They carried him in a crowd. He scored 10 points in the second overtime when they beat the Dukies here. They were undefeated at home last year.
That sure got the crowd back into it. Shavlik Randolph. Good hesitation, and Strickland will get the foul. Guys pushing and shoving each other.
Strickland made a great play right here.
Now Horvath's going to get a technical. Well, Carl has Duke Edsel and Ray Natilli have their work cut out for them right now.
They really do. I mean, we're early in the game. First 6 minutes and change, and there's a lot of contact. I've had 2 technicals already. We're in for a long, long night, Mr. Patrick. A lot of talking going on, a lot of pointing.
And obviously, Duke Edsel heard something that he didn't like from Horvath. The personal foul came before that, and then the technical.
I think the official, Duke Edsel's got to get both coaches together and say, let's cut this nonsense out. You both go to both teams, and let's play basketball.
And that's what they're doing right now.
Well, see, must have heard me say that. You got to do it. Get them together and say, let's get this thing together here, guys. Let's get it together.
That's Duke Edsel with his back to you. Carl Hess on the right. And explaining the call. Hey, if you're Skip Prosser right now, do you say, am I far enough out of the coach's box? You don't try that, do you? Well, Strickland came down and caught him twice.
And a little elbow right there. Little elbow right there by Horvath. And now he's going to come back at him, Strickland. Going to come back at him. Strickland's going to point at him. And here comes the retaliation.
There was a little push. And Paul, the freshman,
trying to push Strickland out of the way,
is the smart one in the group because he's going to say, get out of the way. We don't want any of this. And what you have to be so careful of is, you know, emotion is one thing, but it's got to be under control enough that you don't hurt your team. And we've already had 2 tees in this game.
Fisher's got to take charge of this game, or it's getting out of control, Mike.
Shavlik Randolph will shoot the personals.
He was shut out against NC State. His granddaddy was an incredible player, Ronnie Shavlik at NC State.
One of the great rebounders of all time.
Especially about 6'6", too. Was not a 6'10" player. Now here comes the technical.
And this will be Justin Gray, who is second only to J.J. Redick in the ACC at 86.7%. And misses the first.
Roommate in high school of Carmelo Anthony, who led Syracuse to that national title. They're going to start lacing him up there. Little hug by Edsel on Duhan. Say, come on, let's play here. I want to blow the whistle.
Ray hits the second one. Let's check in with Doris.
Well, guys, just an update on Sheldon Williams. John Jackson, the SID, just said he essentially got the wind knocked out of him. He obviously is checking back into the game. He's 100%, guys.
They absolutely need him. He's the one player they can't miss. You know, Mike, you made the point about freshman of the year. The reason I'd give the slight edge to Paul, and I love Dang. Dang's a great player, but I think Paul's responsibilities at the point guard is just a little bit too much. And I really believe he deserves it for the unbelievable weight he's carrying on his back to really run this club and spark them.
Chris Ellis, 0, is in for Wake Forest for the first time. He's starting to get some more minutes off the bench. Paul guarded by Redick. We have someone playing hurt tonight, too. Doris Burke fighting her way through a cold. Williams appeared to take his eye off of it and lost the ball. Turnover number 5 against Wake Forest in 7 minutes. Ewing wide open for 3. He and Reddick can kill you from out there.
What patience right there by Duhan. He made that play happen. Great look, great vision. He knew he was going to the open three-point shooter. What maturity at the point guard slot. And watch him on the inside. There's the contact. Here comes the elbow. Now Lillard Strickland says, hey, he gave me an elbow. And he points at him. And now he says something back. And Edsel says, wait a minute, I got my whistle. I got to hit you with a tee. You can't say that, Mr. Horvath.
Randolph saw an opening and raced to the bucket.
How does he get shut out? How does a guy with those kind of skills and size get shut out?
Duke has its biggest lead at 19-11. May never happen again. Teron Downey, number 4, is in. 3 outstanding guards for Wake Forest. Downey, who started a lot of games in his career, now comes off the bench. What a move by Paul. Holy cow, what a drive.
That's a terrific one-on-one maneuver. He's my choice as diaper dandy in the ACC. The kid has absolutely been phenomenal. Had 30 against Cincinnati. I spoke to Bobby Huggins about that game, and he told me his penetration ability is just really special.
And they're going to call an offensive foul on Reddick for pushing off against Strickland. That'll be 2 on J.J. Reddick. We didn't have a very good angle at it. It was right in front of us. Here comes Paul. Beautiful spin around the veteran Duhan.
Those guys.
Number 3 against number 15. Duke and Wake Forest at the Lawrence Joel Coliseum. And Duke has won 4 of its last 6 games. Wake Forest trying to recover from a slump that saw them lose 5 in a row. They had a big win this weekend against Cincinnati. Here are the turnovers, the points off of, and it's been to Duke's advantage as it was in the first game. Duke has 4 steals in the game's first 8 minutes.
You know, things started to really happen in a negative way for Wake when they went on the road and lost to Texas, and they had to play Duke that weekend and lost that game. And they had a tough time recovering from that.
Paul against Dockery, who's an excellent defender. Ellis, offensive rebound, tied up by Dockery. And boy, there is no quarter asked and none given tonight.
These teams don't like each other tonight, man. There's no love on that floor.
How about that for Dockery? I mean, what can Dockery weigh? 175 pounds? He grabs a ball against Ellis, just hangs on. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, ESPN gives you regional hockey. You'll see Boston against Philadelphia or San Jose against Chicago. Then on the NHL on ESPN, Made in America, delivered on Thursday. They're delivering here tonight in Winston-Salem. It is a 6-point Duke lead.
They're using Levy on the point guard. They're going to rebound totals right now, basically even. Very aggressive defensively, especially on the perimeter, Wake Forest.
Oh, what a pass. Williams from Ewing.
Break down inside, lack of communication. Guy gets wide open.
Downey back the other way. Excellent team defense by Duke. The follow by Williams. Levy, who is so quick off his feet, gets the tip.
I tell you, Levy's really underrated. He defends really well. He's very active. He's got the long arms, plays passing lanes very well.
That was only 180, and he's 3rd in the league in rebounds because he is so quick and so tough. Downey comes back the other way. Duhan, great defense. And then Duhan called for the foul. He really forced Downey away from the bucket.
Well, Duhan very smart, knows he's a left-handed player. We're going to take a look. Look at wide open, got the great angle. I could have made that pass. I could have made that layup. But look at Levy right here now. We're going to watch him go to the goal with the tip. The ball's going to be alive. Number 10 hanging around the basket. There's the little tip. Guys like the tip with their fingertips. Downey with the conversion.
He's another excellent free throw shooter, almost 88%. That's his first point tonight.
You know, Duke the last 2 years has lost in the Sweet 16, and they're not comfortable with that. There are a lot of teams out there who really brag about getting to the Sweet 16. Yeah. Down at Duke, they say, wait a minute, that's a failure.
Mike Krzyzewski has set the bar as high as anyone can set it.
He told us, he said, we're really probing and trying to get ready for March.
While trying to win every game in the process.
Exactly. And everybody else is elevating their game because they want that big win against somebody like Duke.
Exactly. Deng with a great drive and the spin at the end. And it's 23-17. Lead back to 6.
Great one-on-one maneuver right there by Deng, spinning in the lane. Nice job of stepping out defensively, Deng.
Counting on a little weave, got it back when Levy bobbled it. Gray is an excellent long-range shooter. Missed this one. Here comes Duke on the run. 3-on-2.
Nice
Ewing
pass.
to Deng, and he's fouled by Justin Gray.
Nice look by Ewing. Ewing played in high school with T.J. Ford, Kenny Taylor, who's now playing at Texas. Man, I think about those transfers from Baylor. When you think about Robertson, certainly Lucas and Taylor. Wow.
Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, ESPN2 with more NCAA basketball action. Georgia Tech taking on Maryland and another ACC showdown. Two of the teams right in the middle of that package. Throwdown Thursday, presented by Mass Mutual on ESPN2.
You take Maryland, you take Georgia Tech, put them in a lot of conferences in America. They're number 1 and 2.
There may be 7 teams capable of winning the ACC tournament in the second week of March. I hope you'll be with us for that. That should be a lot of fun.
If the 34 best at-large teams are selected after the 31 are given their bids by basically winning their conference tournaments, bottom line is there's nobody can convince me that 7 shouldn't come from the ACC. If it's the best 34.
When has it been the best 34?
They should go to this kid. He's ready to play today.
Williams, missed the jam.
But he's
Strickland got the rebound, and he is fouled by Dockery. And now Strickland and Dockery with a little push, and it's starting to get out of hand. And you are going to see Duke Edsel say, that's it, boys, I'm not having it anymore.
See, I don't see an official, though, taking charge big time. Right now, they got to take charge big time and say, we're going to chase guys from this game if this is going to continue.
Dick, I think that's what they're telling them right now.
You got to tell them flat up and down. I mean, this is getting a little out of control now. You guys locking arms here, hustling for the ball.
That foul was on Dockery, who looked like he got the worst of that exchange.
Look at this move by Williams. A great move, but he doesn't finish. But he made a great move to get to the rack.
And you can see the determination on his face. You're right. He is ready to play tonight. Bodies flying again. The foul, I believe, is going to be on Ewing as Gray went to the floor.
There's a lot of physical contact here tonight. That's been the spotlight. Look at the contact. You better really have your helmet on and come to play today. I'll tell you about a physical team. I was telling Coach K, and he agreed today. We were talking to him in the locker room. That Pittsburgh team, Mike, were they impressive physically against Connecticut? They really can defend people. I talked to Jamie Dixon today. He really has a team that's going to be a dangerous team in the tournament.
Tell you what, Dick, that is one of those teams that, depending on how the game is officiated in the NCAA tournament, will determine a long way about how far they go.
I'll tell you, they're a very good team, and also Oklahoma State, who we had last week, very impressive on the defensive end. And to me, Lucas is making a great run to be player of the year in the Big 12.
Justin Gray, the Deacons' leading scorer, has 4 tonight, tries for his 5th here. He could cut the lead to 5. It does. Last 6 games, Gray's been averaging nearly 21 points a game and much more aggressive offensively. He's going to the line a lot more. When you shoot nearly 90%, you have to try to get there.
Exactly, because he was struggling there for a while. He was very limited in his attempts in terms of 2-point shots, wasn't getting to the line.
J.J. Redick is doing the same thing for Duke. Right now, he's on the bench with 2 early personal fouls. Downey comes out against Duhon. 10 on the shot clock. Randolph, nice crossover, got to the baseline. Are you kidding?
Great move. You see the skills that he possesses. Triple threat position, puts the ball in the deck, changes direction.
6'10", 245 with a beautiful crossover. And Gray with an equally gorgeous move at the other end.
Gray really picking it up offensively and attacking the basket. We know about his perimeter game. Oh, the Screaming Demons are ready here tonight. And the freaking Deacons are going nuts as well.
Can be a holding foul on Strickland away from the ball. That'll be 2 on Trent Strickland.
Take a look on the inside. Now watch the triple threat position. You can drive, you can pass, or you can shoot. He decides to drive from triple threat position. Now look at Greg. He's, I'm going to take it right to the goal as well. I'm going to split the defense. I'm going to hang in the air. I'm going to get the good rotation. Nice touch.
And for more on Justin Gray, let's go to Doris.
Well, Dick, you just mentioned how aggressive Justin Gray has been. You know about his perimeter game, as you mentioned, but for Skip Prosser, he said, Justin, you are depending too much on that perimeter jumper. I want you to do what you just did there. Attack the basket. Over the last 6 games, guys, he's gone to the free throw line 40 times. It's really helped Wake Forest.
Well, he's trying to emulate your game, Doris, because I heard when I was interviewed today about you that you had that great perimeter game, and you also were able to attack the basket. She was outstanding at Providence. You know, she played with Billy Donovan.
Her poor husband says she's the dirtiest player he's ever been against. He won't play with her anymore.
He can't play.
They're very competitive. Strickland on another great lob from Paul.
Well, you can see that one coming. The diagonal pass, the back screen. They got the timing perfect. The Screaming Demons jump out of joy.
28-23.
Strickland was explosive in a double overtime game last year.
Dang gets the screen, dribble it off his foot out of bounds. Good defense by Strickland. That is the 6th Duke turnover.
Here's the diagonal pass, back screen, no communication. Dang right there gets beat on the screen. You got to talk, you got to see ball, you man. That's a must. Then Williamson touches inside.
Gray for 3. In and out.
Williams foul.
Eric Williams will be called for the personal. That will be the big sophomore's first.
His mom and aunt here tonight. Really 2 beautiful people out here supporting him all the time.
You know, it's ironic. He's from Wake Forest, North Carolina, and that's not where the school is.
I know. It's in Winston-Salem.
It used to be in Wake Forest, and they moved it here.
Mike, I could not believe. Today was the first day I ever walked on their campus. I had a book signing there, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful, and what a bunch of great kids that came out. I had myself a great afternoon.
Well, you knew any place that Arnold Palmer went to college would have to be terrific.
I couldn't believe, for example, there's only 4,000 students. Academically, obviously, you got to be the top of the line to get in.
That explains why you and I didn't go to Wake. It's 30-23.
In terms of numbers thus far, 2 points, 1 assist for Duhan, but certainly their impact has been felt in a lot of different ways. Paul, the great look on the alley-oop to Trent Strickland, and then the dribble drive using a weak hand, but there's been a poise and a maturity about his game through the early part of this, guys. That's been important. He's been the peacemaker in the midst of all this hoopla we've seen through the first 12-plus minutes of this basketball game, Mike.
I think that's an excellent way to describe it, Doris.
Well, you know, it's really impressive. He hasn't been forcing shots.
They try that lob, but he forced that pass, and Horvath eventually takes it away.
Well, I was telegraphed. You could see that coming from here. It was very obvious. But the one thing is they negated each other because of the defensive ability against one another as well.
Dang against Strickland. A lot of body contact. Dang short, got it back, banked it in.
Dang in a one-on-one situation, so skilled and so talented. He's so versatile. He can play 4 positions on the floor. 9
points for Deng, who's in the top 10 in scoring, rebounding, field goal percentage, and block shots. Williams trying to muscle his way in. Randolph helped knock it out of bounds.
Horvath getting a lot of minutes here in the first half. Coach K, I'll tell you some impressive numbers. You think about 89-16 in non-conference games, the ACC this year. Duke certainly a great part of that.
Danilus looks low to Williams, trying to get past Horvath. Short arms it. Danilus, offensive rebound. Puts it up, got it back. Nice head fake. Rolls off. Williams trying to keep it alive. It comes out. Duhan has it. He's tied up. Possession arrow gives it back to Wake, and Mike Krzyzewski really unhappy there wasn't a foul as Duhan was pounced on when he went to the floor.
I tell you, Ron, a lot of pride at stake right here.
Tomorrow night, we'll have regional hockey on ESPN. Some of you will see the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers in a possible Stanley Cup preview, and others will see the San Jose Sharks and the Chicago Blackhawks. Funny, in this game, three-point shooting has not been much of a factor, but inside play has, as Strickland scores inside.
I'll tell you,
6 points for Trent Strickland.
He's really a good athlete, Mike. Very active player. Had a big game against Texas when he got the start against them.
32-25. Dang. Oh, what a pretty move to get open. In and out on the jump shot. Gray ahead to Williams.
Not a good look right there, Mike Gray. Why would you want to give it to the big guy that far away from
Especially, I mean, he's not going to really be able to help you quarter on the right side running full speed.
Hey, Saturday, I got Cincinnati, Louisville. Louisville gets beat by 25 by Texas Christian. And I just noticed Chris Fowler said, you got Cincinnati's getting beat by UAB.
UAB at the half.
Do you think Mr. Huggins and Mr. Patino are going to be very happy? Wow.
Neither one of them smiles much anyway, do they?
Well, Louisville struggling right now. Lost 4 of their last 5.
Paul got it away from Duhan. Duhan got it back. Fight at midcourt. Duhan.
It's a timeout.
Call the timeout.
Got a timeout.
Boy, Chris Paul gets up and says, you know, I had that one.
Very physical here today. It started right out of the gate. Let's get the helmets on, guys. Time for the loose ball. Get on that fun ball. Come on, give up some skin. Look at him right here. Let's snap and claw.
Dick, normally we talk about our primetime players, but today we have a special primetime player because last Sunday, February 14th at 3 o'clock, Dick Vitale was nominated for induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Dick and I have worked together for about 20 years now. We're not really exactly sure of how long, but I have been with Dick in many situations. You have worn many hats and had some silly-looking stuff. But I tell you what, I have never been around anyone who loved college basketball more than you do, or who was as dedicated to the people in college basketball. And I congratulate you, man.
I really thank you, Mike.
I congratulate you with all my heart.
I want to say to all the people, all the calls I've been getting from coaches and people in basketball and people in TV, just simply thank you. And I haven't even been enshrined. I just was nominated.
Good enough for me. Ewing a floater down the lane. Horvath.
Horvath really active inside with that little tip.
He has 4, and that's a boost when Horvath can give him some good minutes.
Yeah, because really he's been a non-factor coming off the bench. They've been playing a 7-man rotation.
Danilus tries to go baseline. Just nothing working for Vitas Danilus right now. Banks it up with the left hand. Can't get that one. Comes out to Levy. Boy, this is as physical a game as I've seen in a long time. Levy with a miss. Danilus with another rebound. Duhan stripped it.
Williams says, forget the nonsense. Forget it. I'm just going to take it and jam that sucker.
I tell you what, whoever wins this one tonight will have earned it. Big time.
They are really getting after one another.
This is 4:58 to go in the first half.
No place for the meek and mild today.
Duhan blocked. Williams got the left hand on it.
I tell you, Mike, he was ready to play. I watched him in a warm-up.
Paul against Duhan. Offensive foul on Paul. You're not going to fool Chris Duhan too often.
Out of control right there. Out of control. That's a young rookie mistake. Trying to do it by himself. Going out of control. Not playing with the poise that Doris talked about earlier. And there he is, out of control.
Dick, you could see 10 feet away. He had his mind made up what he wanted to try against Chris Duhan. And in 4 years, Chris Duhan has seen it all here.
Duhan's a terrific defensive player. He's become the maestro man of this Duke team. This is his team.
34-27. Blue Devils by 5. Ewing. Williams.
Williams very active inside. Rebounded. They want to get him some touches. I'm telling you, they want to get him some touches.
Gray fouled before the shot. Also wanted to show you the entire list of the nominees for the college or for the Basketball Hall of Fame. Jim Calhoun of Connecticut, our Dick Vitale, Drexler, Woodard, Bill Sharman, Gus Johnson, who was a terrific rebounder for them, the Baltimore Bullets, Bobby Jones, Bernard King, Chet Walker, Maurice Stokes, and you can read the rest. And it has to be something that that just strikes you right between the eyes when you see your name on that list.
I get goosebumps. I want to run over and get autographs from all those guys. And the Hall of Fame, Mike, I don't know if you've been through it at all. A gorgeous, absolute, beautiful building, the new one. I've been through the old one, not the new one. I should look at Reddick with his third personal foul.
Reddick has been a non-factor in this ballgame. He only has 2 points, and he is Duke's leading scorer, 17.3 in ACC games, better than 20 a game.
You know, Reddick's trying to be the first player, ready for this in ACC history, to lead the league in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage in the same season. That is incredible in the history of the ACC.
And as a guard, for him to shoot 50% in conference games is remarkable.
Especially with the pressure he faces. Remember, he doesn't get a lot of open looks.
Randolph from the outside, too strong. Tipped by Dockery out of bounds to Wake.
Dockery, a tough kid from out of Chicago, defensive player. They're all hoping that the kid Livingston decides to enroll at Duke and not go to the NBA draft. They think he'll be a superstar, and I'm hoping he goes to college. He'll get a lot stronger.
They need more help?
I'll tell you, the kid is a great player. Look at Downey downtown.
Downey with the left hand buries the three. The first three of the night for Wake Forest, and it cuts the lead down to 3.
They sometimes play that three-guard concept. Paul, Downey, and Gray.
Beautiful shot.
That was a little bit of a prayer right there. He got a little lucky.
It was answered. Danilus commits the foul inside against Williams. Got an arm right up in Williams' face and picks up the personal, his first.
And Duke Etzel right on the baseline is easy to spotting that. You know, Freddie Barricat, who does a phenomenal job with the officials, evaluating and really rating them and making certain that they take charge. I tell you one thing, he does it as well as anybody in America.
36-31, Duke by 5 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the ball game. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, you kissed me before, don't ever do it again.
Where's my wife? Oh, John Saunders.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. It's 36-31 here, number 3 over number 15. And it will be Duke's basketball with 3:33 to go in the half.
You and I got a chance to share some time. One of our favorite people in basketball, Muggsy Bogues, in the house tonight.
How long did they say he played? 14 years in the NBA?
I said, you played 14 years at 5'6"? He says, no, 5'3".
Yes, with the 14 this one. Williams, rebound, put it up with the left-hand-headed block. Deacons trying to run. Downey, 1-on-3. Got it anyway!
What a great play! What a sensational play by Downey. He goes coast to coast.
7 for Teron Downey.
Had an appendix surgery in a matter of a week. Came back and played against Memphis.
These are tough kids on this club.
Sparked them to the win in that game at the Garden.
Visser, good step out. Knocked it away from Deng. Deng goes to the floor, double team. Got it to Williams. Ewing. Tough shot.
He's a big-time player. He was so good against North Carolina. He was the guy that sparked them to that win against the Heels.
Tell you what, there's some great plays being made tonight. Strickland.
You got to play in a defensive end if you want to advance in this league. You got to make a commitment there.
Levy can't hit the shot. Williams had the rebound, lost it out of bounds.
I still think North Carolina is a very dangerous basketball team.
Oh, yes.
We're going to watch Downey now, coast to coast, head is up. He's determined. I'm taking it right to the rack. He goes right by Duhan. He's a left-handed player, so uses his strong hand.
Levy gives it up to Strickland. 39-33.
Get some inside touches, as Jay Billis said. You got to bring the ball inside. Get Visser some touches.
Great move by Paul.
I love that diaper dandy. Great personality. He's the mayor of Winston-Salem. They love him here on campus.
One of only 2 rookies in the country on the mid-season Wooden Award list. And Deng answers at the other end.
Deng says, hey, diaper dandy, anything you can do, I can do better.
41-35. Duke over Wake with 1:46 to go.
That's real surprising. Look at Duke shooting threes. Atlantic with only a deuce and they're up. Wake Forest with 10 turnovers, 8 players. Well, Mike Krzyzewski told us tonight, he said what concerns him is the depth of Wake Forest. He said he thought they were the deepest team in the conference.
And in a game like this, depth may be even more important because these guys have beaten on each other for the first hour of this ball game. Tomorrow night we'll have more ACC action. B.J. Elder and the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech will go against Jamar Smith, DJ Strawberry, and the Maryland Terrapins. Throwdown Thursday presented by Mass Mutual on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern. And we wanted to show you the Duke goes down to Clemson and can't win tonight. They dropped to 9-3, so Duke has a 2-game lead in the loss column. Look at Georgia Tech, Wake, Florida State, North Carolina, and Maryland. 5 teams within 1 game in the loss column.
Most teams can play with most teams in the nation.
Absolutely.
Got to pound it inside a little bit right now. Williams go down low.
Eric Williams against Sheldon Williams in the pivot.
I think Visser's going to end up being an outstanding player in this conference.
There's Williams, got it to Visser. Randolph had come over to double team, came back and made the block. And Duke is a tremendous shot blocking team.
Well, they do a great job helping one another, playing as a rhythm, as a unit. As Coach K said to us tonight before the game, he said we haven't played as well in our last 3 games defensively as a unit.
35 on the shot clock. Williams gives it up to Gray, and they're going to call Ewing as he ran through a screen. That's 1 on Daniel Ewing.
You know, and so the game, show the game with Georgia Tech and Maryland. You got some great guards going to go head-to-head with Gilchrist, and certainly Jack. B.J. Elder had that unbelievable game against North Carolina. Did you do that game when he hit all those threes?
No.
He was on fire.
At least I don't think so. After a while, you know, there's one great game after another.
That's true.
Gray hits the free throw. He served notice on everybody a year ago when he had that fractured jaw. Came back, his jaw was still wired, he was wearing a mask, and he just stuck his head right in there and played so hard and so courageously. You knew he was a tough guy from that second on.
He's got the great stroke, the great follow through. Played at Oak Hill Academy, as I said earlier, roommate with Carmelo Anthony, who led Syracuse to that national title. Will we have another surprise this year like we had with Syracuse? It could happen. It's wide open. There are a lot of teams that can win this title this year.
41-37. Deng had stripped by Paul, and Visser picked it up. Paul, so quick, one of the nation's leaders in steals.
Nice pass.
Williams knocked away by Williams. Visser clears.
Paul's trying to get it inside to Williams. He wants to get it inside to the big guy.
Had him one-on-one. Randolph came over to double team, but got there late.
Got to take it into him. He's ready to play. Told you earlier, Mike.
Still, he only has 6 points, Dick.
Yep, put him off the bench. He is really ready to play. They got to get him to run.
Deacons within 2. Ewing. How many big shots has he hit this year? He has 11 points on the night. The lead is back to 5.
He's a heck of a weapon to have when he's your 3rd weapon. It's incredible what he does from that wing. So underrated.
Paul sets himself up for a 3. Front of the rim. Sheldon Williams with the rebound. Brings it out himself after pressure. Duhan at the buzzer. Almost got it.
Think of the first half, very physical, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion.
Duke led by as many as 9, the halftime score. Duke 44, the Deacons 39. Here's our updated Star Watch. The guards have played a lot better than this. Here's what it sounded like all night. Everybody may get in a hot tub at the halftime. 44-39. Let's join Chris Fowler in the studio for the Bank One halftime report.
Mike, thank you. Yeah, they need some time to rest and recover after a first half like that. So somebody has to talk in the meantime, and that would be our job when we bank one halftime report. We'll talk about college hoops in just a second. First, some other baseball news. And the Yankees are not going to be the only team with high expectations this season. The Chicago Cubs have reached agreement with Greg Maddux, the four-time Cy Young Award winner in Atlanta, who now returns to the Cubs and joins a rotation that already included Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood. $6 million the first year, $9 million in year 2 of the contract. Year 3 is contingent on various performance clauses. That's according to Jason Stark of ESPN.com. Other news and notes. Bob Knight has dropped his lawsuit against Indiana for wrongful termination. It'll be the Dane in Spain as Christian Dreyer leaves Florida to play pro ball in Barcelona.
Really an unfortunate decision by Dreyer to abandon his teammates down the stretch. I don't agree with it. I don't think Billy Donovan did either.
Meanwhile, the Capitals continue to abandon their fans, trading 14-year veteran Peter Bondra to Ottawa to shed some salary. When we come back, college basketball's team of destiny, the St. Joe's Hawks, well, perhaps, certainly against Fordham tonight. The task was merely to remain unbeaten. We'll show you highlights of that and a lot of other games coming straight up, including this one.
First to score at the half in Winston-Salem. Third-ranked Duke leading number 15 Wake Forest 44-39. This may have been the most physical first half of play we have witnessed in the ACC this year. Bodies flying everywhere. 19 fouls called in the first half. And a lot of let's get down to the floor and get real.
2 technicals as well. Ewing was big, Mike. Knocked down 3 big trifectas. In fact, that was the only 3 threes they made in the first half. They got to get Reddick going.
Does this style, Reddick will not start the second half, by the way. He has those 3 fouls. Does this style of play favor either team?
I would really think it favors, to me, Wake Forest because they got more bodies, and I really believe inside, if Danilus gets going and helps Williams, I think they could be a major factor.
Shavlik Randolph. Good baseline drive, and he's fouled by Visser. That will be number 2 on Visser. Look at the numbers from the first half. Duke shooting over 50% from the floor, and they had a slight edge in turnovers. Wake, with a deeper bench, outscored Duke off the pine 19-10.
Starting Visser here in the second half.
Interesting stat. Danilus, 5 offensive rebounds and 0 for 5 from the floor. Nothing has dropped for that young man. And Ewing now 4 out of 5 from three-point range.
He's been the difference maker here tonight. He's made the big play. With Reddick on the sideline in foul trouble, they go to Ewing, and he has responded like a PT peer.
He is number 6 in the ACC in long-range shooting. Visser forced that shot. Duke capable of those bursts that can put you
Great look. Duhan was looking all the way for Dang on that right out of the outset.
Biggest lead of the game for Duke. It's up to 10 at 49-39.
You're right, Mike. They could go on one of those spurts.
Even without Reddick.
It's important right now that they get a score right here, Wake Forest.
Gray, boy, was he off balance.
That shot right there.
Dang, who can do everything there is to do on a basketball court, gives it up to Duhan, the runner. Randolph nearly with a great tip from long range. Gray the other way against Ewing and got the reverse.
Nice transition basket right there by Wake Forest. Gray with the reverse layup in transition.
We played a minute and a half here in the second half at Winston-Salem. It's an 8-point game.
Welcome back to Winston-Salem, where Duke has stretched their lead to 8 through the first minute and a half here in the second half. And for Chris Paul, it's been an outstanding game. We feature the 2-point guards to start this basketball game, and the new generation guarding the old generation tough and doing what he does best, finding teammates, attacking the glass with authority, and just playing an all-around floor game. The highlight, and then there's something you don't expect. The freshman stepping up in the midst of what was a very physical and emotional first half, trying to cool heads, and the two guys probably leading candidates for ACC Rookie of the Year, Dang with 13 points and 5 of 9 shooting. And Dick, that is a very close race.
I'll tell you, Doris, right now, they're two of the best diaper dandies in America. If you were to chart the top 5, they'd have to be there. Humphreys, who committed to Duke, now at Minnesota, certainly would be one. Today, he put the finishing touches. Indiana blew a big lead, got beat at the end of the game by Humphreys.
Duhan out of the corner, knocks down the three-point shot, and the lead has grown to 11.
Duke's got a terrific perimeter game. They got the best perimeter game in terms of depth in America. The best combination, I believe, is Weston Nelson. But when you look at depth in Ewing, Reddick, and Duhan, in fact, they're dangling there as you look at Reddick sitting on the sideline with those fouls. Hey, Mike, I'll tell you something that really bothers me as he goes to the line. You and I were talking it earlier. You know, Wake Forest was 3rd in the nation at 11-0. Florida this year was #1 in the nation at one time. They're not even ranked. But I'm going to tell you what disturbs me down in Florida. A kid quitting on a team to go play in Europe and go into Spain today in the middle of the season. Christian Dreyer, that is shame on you. That is quitting on your team. And I think there's no place for it. And what it's going to do is maybe get some other kids now ideas that if things don't go well, I'll go play in Europe. We should shut those scouts out and not even let them in our gym to see our kids. I'm furious about that.
Yeah, to do that in the 3rd week of February, that's really lousy.
That's Bush. That's Bush.
This foul is going to be on Levy for the block. He thought he was going to get a charge. That's 3 on Jamal Levy.
Levy getting 3 is certainly big as well. I mean, how sad is that, Mike, that you quit on your teammates to take the paycheck to run to Spain in the middle of the season? You can't wait another 4 weeks.
Oh, I'm 100% with you. And I tell you what, that is going to have a lot of coaches saying, I wonder if I'm going to recruit European kids.
And it could jeopardize the school in terms of eligibility, dealing with an agent in the middle of the season.
Oh, you think an agent was involved?
Oh, wow. Just like I get a big kick when I hear the NBA doesn't want all these kids to come out. I mean, they flood America looking at every player across the nation, and they give the unbelievable interest level is incredible. I mean, come on now. I know Dave Stern doesn't want them all to come out, but I just wonder, they plant in their heads that about 100 kids are going to be first-round draft choices.
Sheldon Williams hits 2 free throws to make it a 13-point game, and now Ewing will be called for a hold as he was trailing Justin Gray on a baseline cut. That would be 2 on Daniel Ewing.
You know, this becomes a crucial game to a team like Wake. You're right now fighting to stay. You want to get over 500. You're at home. You can't afford in this league to lose at home.
Danilus, who needs something to work for him. That one does it. Williams trying for the follow and powered it up between Randolph and Sheldon Williams.
I just don't believe they get him enough touches, Mike. I really don't. I don't think they pound the ball into the low box enough.
That was just brute strength. The defense was waiting.
And he earned that, baby.
Sheldon Williams gets it down low, turns into a double team, now a triple team. And it's a tie-up. Sheldon Williams had to find somebody who was open and did not.
Good job by Chris Paul, giving help from up on top, sliding down. He was doubled up when he made that rotation inside, and then Paul rotated down, and it was a triple team on him.
Hasn't been a touch foul call tonight, I'll tell you that. Williams low against Williams. Too strong. Loose ball. Williams has it. And a reach-in foul. I think it's going to be on Shavlik Randolph. 2 on Shavlik Randolph. Eric Williams, who was a McDonald's All-American, was one of those guys who had a conditioning problem a year ago as a freshman, but he really changed his body, and Wake now 14-6 on the offensive glass. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, better than 2-to-1 ratio. That means you're really playing aggressive basketball, but you got to convert some of those. As you said earlier, Danilus gets 5 and is 0 for 5.
Gray knocked away by Ewing, got it back. Tough drive down the bait, down the lane, and got it.
He earned that one, going down the gut of the defense, because with Duke, they're right in your face defensively. You don't get anything easy.
Justin Gray, the leading scorer for Wake, has 14, and the ball will go over to Wake Forest on a foul. It's going to be called on Ewing, his 3rd. And now Reddick is going to come back into the ball game for Duke, and Ewing will sit down. Reddick comes back in with 3 fouls.
Well, you know, North Carolina State's the only team to shoot over 50% against Duke this season. They shot 52 on Sunday. Home streak wins. Pittsburgh at 40 with a great facility. Duke with 39.
Paul for 3. Got it. The young man who lit up Cincinnati for 30. Hits a big 3.
He's been really playing with a lot of poise and patience. Has not taken a lot of bad shots. Playing under control. I think he's got to look for a shot a little bit more here in the second half.
The lead has been cut to 6. Reddick, who was driving more. Into Danilus, then missed the shot after there was nobody left defensively.
Didn't have a good angle. Here's a kid coming off a 30-point performance. Then goes Gray.
Gray tries a wraparound pass, and he's fouled.
They're making a nice run right now, Wake Forest. Getting into some rhythm offensively. That big 3 by Paul can give you a big lift, give you some momentum.
Yeah, Dick, that's 3 fouls on Shavlik Randolph. With the lead cut to 6 coming up, we'll go back and take a look at Randolph Childress in our ESPN archives.
Back in Winston-Salem, where Wake Forest has cut the gap to 6. And just a reminder, tonight's telecast available on ESPN's high-definition service, ESPN's HD. And folks, just to give you an idea, that red box represents the amount you see without high definition. It is a clearer picture and more of it with ESPN's high definition. Bring the experience of being in the arena into your living room with ESPN HD. If you haven't experienced it, go to your local Best Buy and check it out. Philips and HD TV. Guys, it is a remarkable difference on high definition television.
It's incredible stuff, Doris. I'll tell you how bright I am. I bought one when I was away the next 23 weekends doing the NFL, so I never got to see anything. Paul Horvath steps out. Levy hits the 3. Jamal Levy, who is only a 21% shooter from long range, just made his 5th 3 of the entire year.
They rotated him right now in defense against Deng. Getting a better matchup. He was playing on a perimeter earlier. That's a big 3 there for them. I really think they're feeling the unbelievable 3 that Paul made, gave them the lift.
Wake has scored the last 10. Pull-up jumper, in and out. Danilus tries for the big follow and can't get it.
He can't
buy it.
He can't get a break.
Duhan dumps it off, and the foul will be called on Williams.
Nice play by Duhan, always unselfish, looking to make the extra pass for the high percentage shot. Going to take a look inside. There's the steal. Ball popped out. Now right now he's going to shoot the jumper. Here comes Danilus right down the gut of the defense. He's got the offensive rebound. And there it is, and it doesn't go down. He's got 6 offensive rebounds, and he hasn't been able to score.
Confidence is a funny thing, and when you're hurt, confidence is one of the first things that can disappear. Horvath misses the free throw.
I mean, they were down 13 a little while ago, and all of a sudden, right here in the ball game, down with 3.
Duke came out with a big start to the half, and then it's been a tremendous run. Duke scored 10 of the first 12 points. Horvath hits this one. And you've got to think that Danilus is going to miss Darius Sangaila, his fellow Lithuanian who graduated a year ago. That had to be a comfort level for him. Paul almost lost it. Now it's a jump ball situation, and he does lose it. Good defense by Duke.
Alternate possession goes to Duke.
Danilus, 6 offensive rebounds. All 6 are offensive, and he has yet to make a bucket. The free throws gave him his only 2 points.
The positive there is he's playing very aggressively.
Absolutely.
He is really playing aggressively. And usually good things happen eventually if you just keep working, working, working.
He just wonders when eventually he's going to be. Dang, partially blocked by Levy. There's Danilus again inside. Another jump ball situation. This time the possession arrow favors Wake Forest.
You know, you look at #1 seeds right now. I think Duke's only got 1. St. Joe's, Stanford, 4th one wide open. I think Pittsburgh's got a great shot, as does Mississippi State. I don't count out Oklahoma State.
55-51.
Up and inside.
Williams against Horvath.
That's where you got to go. Good high-low. Bring the ball into the big horses. A lot of good things happen when you go inside and then outside. There was a time this year their offense was outside and then inside. You got to start offensively to the interior.
Eric Williams, who has been ineffective the second half of the season offensively, now has 10 points. Reddick misses that shot. The ball's knocked out of bounds. It will be out to Duke.
Mr. Patrick, I told you right here, watch this guy. They got to get him some touches inside. Now he's going to get freeze it right there. He's going to get a great angle in here. He seals off. And now he works on the inside one-on-one. He really wants it tonight. You could have seen it in the warm-up if you were here watching him. He was sweating. It was perspiring. He was working hard in the 3-second area. He came off the bench. Not starting because he hasn't played well.
Williams against Danilus, and he shows some strength inside. 10 for Williams. So both of the centers have 10. Paul got caught in the lane. Danilus for 3. Got it!
Eventually arrived. Eventually arrived.
And Danilus running down the court, lifts his arms over his head, trying to get the crowd back into it. It is a one-point game. Knocked loose and nearly stolen.
We got another great ACC battle, baby.
Duhan trying to penetrate. Reddick.
Don't want to foul him. Don't want to foul him. He utilizes the ball fake really well. A great thing for you kids out there, using that ball fake.
Trent Strickland commits the foul. It's his third. Starting at 8 Eastern, February 20th, an NBA doubleheader, Minnesota-Detroit, then Philadelphia and the Lakers at 10:30. To get a full schedule, log on to ESPN.com and search HD.
If there's anybody that can control Rasheed Wallace, it would be Larry Brown. I saw where he would like to get him. I think he would do a great job at the Hall of Famer.
Duhan, tough off-balance shot.
Oh, nice tip.
Tipped it in.
We're not getting some QT quality time tonight.
7 points for Horvath. Wake Forest has led once at 2-0. Since then, it's been all Duke.
Got to get better angles to make that entry inside to Williams.
Danilus just hit a 3.
Get it to him.
Williams against Horvath.
Mike, I told you he was ready, big fella.
Boy, he's pumped.
He was pumped in the warm-ups. He was pumped in the warm-ups. I remember telling you, a guy sitting on the bench could be a major factor tonight. Eric Williams, you could just feel his body language.
He had started 50 straight games. He's come off the bench the last 3. Maybe that was the ticket. Sheldon Williams inside. So the big guys exchanging buckets.
Well, both clubs going to the interior now, realizing you got to get an inside game.
Paul kicks it back to Danilus. Going to be
that's the guy that projected to be all ACC. Where has he been? Has he arrived? Has Danilus come to town? Does a TO, baby? It's rocking up the jaw.
Vitas Danilus had made 5 3-pointers the entire season. He's just made 2 in the last minute. We are tied at 61.
And the freaking Deacons are going bananas. My wife is sitting up there with the freaking Deacons. You're going to watch Danilus with the trifecta. There he is. Splash. Look at him dancing now. He's feeling good.
Speaking of threes, let's go back into our archives at ESPN after 25 years of basketball.
The hot hand belongs to that guy there, Randolph Childress. Nice little cross. Oh, my. What a crossover there. Hey, whoa,
Do you see it?
get me. Oh, man. That was called breaking the guy's ankle.
Oh, and then he busted his chops.
Right.
Stackhouse. No! Wake Forest wins the ACC.
Wow.
It was the single best ACC tournament performance by an individual I ever saw. For 3 days, he was absolutely unstoppable. Ewing, after the miss, got the steal, had it blocked out of bounds.
Should have been a foul right there. I don't blame the Duke coaching staff. Upset, no call there. Ewing taking it to the goal.
Well, the coaches on both sides have had their share of gripes. There's the number 22 of Randolph Childress.
We are locked up at 61 with 11:40 to play here in Winston-Salem. We focused on the perimeter play coming into this basketball game. The point guards and now the two guards. You look at what J.J. Redick and Justin Gray have done on this season. Both outstanding numbers, two of the better two guards in the entire ACC. For tonight, a little bit differently. Redick sat the early part of this second half with the 3 fouls. Justin Gray is off to an outstanding start. But Dick, you said two things. Eric Williams was going to have a good game, and this game would be decided in the post. Both of those things playing out right now.
Thank you, Doris. We really think that you got to have balance, got to have inside-outside play. I also think if Duke's going to win this game here tonight, when Redick comes back on the floor, he's got to start being a factor and make some threes.
Wake Forest has really stepped it up at both ends of the court as Deng misses. Dockery mistimes his leap. Shavlik Randolph, offensive rebound, and he traveled.
And he rolled his pivot foot on the inside.
Wake Forest has shot 60% in the second half, including 4 out of 6 from three-point range. Mike Krzyzewski pleading his case. He thought there was a foul on the last possession and not a traveling violation.
You know, it's a great stat when you look at Mike Krzyzewski's record. 39-10 on the road in his last 49 games. You know how tough it is to win on the road in the ACC? 39-10.
And especially this year.
Dump it inside till they can prove they can stop him. Dump it inside.
Strickland, shot clock at 6.
Angles are so important. How do you get an angle? 2-on-1. He'll make the good decision.
Wasted possession that time. Duhan for 3. Williams, rebound. 9 rebounds for Williams. Downey for the lead. Deng clears for Duke. Gives to Duhan. Both teams right now look a little tight.
Deng plays so hard. He just plays basketball. Never says a word. 7 of their last 10 by Wake Forest. That's 70% in any league, man.
Duhan,
Nice
great
play.
feed to Deng. The penetration by Duhan opened up the middle.
Well, dribble penetration always create opportunities. Duke has excelled with that over the last 2 decades.
Hall will check back into the game with his next opportunity. Williams, as they got the ball inside, is fouled.
Randolph with the foul. Look at the dribble penetration. Drive, draw it inside, draw 3 people, and there's Deng, an excellent baseline performer. Certain guys have ability on that baseline, and he does.
Now that's 4 fouls on Shavlik Randolph. He'll have to come out of the ballgame. Sheldon Williams will come back in. So Randolph sits at the 9:57 mark.
I mean, I talked about being a winner. Battier with 131 wins in 4 years. I mean, divide that by 4. That's a lot of wins. But Duhan in third at 113.
Downey for 3. Deng with another rebound.
Look at Duhan's head. It's always up. Always up.
Tough running shot inside. Danilow's got a hand on it, but couldn't control it.
Well, Duhan thought he was fouled in that case. Outstanding athlete's got superb quickness.
Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, ESPN2 has more NCAA basketball action. It will be Georgia Tech in College Park, Maryland, to take on the Terps. Throwdown Thursday, presented by Mass Mutual on ESPN2.
I think that Maryland team is going to be sensational next year. Majority of those kids coming back. A year under the belt.
Duke had trouble getting the ball inbounds. Ewing had to waste a timeout. Take you back to the last meeting between these two, January 17th at Cameron Indoor, and J.J. Redick, who has been held to only 2 points tonight, had 23 in that one. Duhan, 8 points, 14 assists. That's a career high, most of them inside. Chris Paul was virtually shut down by their defense. Wake made a run in the second half, and you can see the disappointment on the face of the McDonald's All-American freshman. Final score was 84-72.
And I'll tell you, Sheldon Williams was absolutely sensational in that game. Had 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 blocked shots. He dominated.
He's He's #1 in the league in block shots is Sheldon Williams, 3.3 a game. And there are the numbers on Chris Paul tonight. Look at the 8 assists. That has been critical for the Deacons as they have climbed back in this game. They were down by as many as 13.
I'll tell you a stat that's impressive. Chris Paul has 113 assists this year and only 48 turnovers. Pretty impressive for a diaper dandy playing all the minutes he plays and the pressure he faces.
In this league, that is 1 turnover every 14.5 minutes. Redick, great fake, wide open, rimmed out.
Easy makes that one.
3-on-2, Downey pulls up and gives it back to Paul. They'll set the offense.
They got Ewing playing him right now defensively.
Paul goes baseline, got around Ewing and ties the game at 63.
Nice little one-on-one maneuver. I'm telling you right now, when you rate the best freshman in America, you have to include the name Chris Paul.
Ewing drives on Downey, a foul before the shot. And it's going to be on Strickland holding away from the ball. That's 4 on Strickland.
Looking right now, Redick going to lay that screen. And he's going to step away. Then they deny him. They really right up in his face. Follow him all over Strickland. Not letting him breathe. Not letting him breathe. He said, hello, JJ. You got a reputation. Now he finally gets free. He uses the screen by Deng. The ball fake. He uses that ball fake so well. Great practice player as well. Has great work ethic, JJ Redick.
We're tied at 63 under 9 minutes. Ewing cut off by Gray. Pull-up jump shot. Offensive rebound, Sheldon Williams. And Sheldon Williams has 14 points.
Where was he against North Carolina State? It's hard to believe with his ability. And you look at his numbers the last 3 games, 5 against Clemson, 4 against NC State. He's too talented for that.
You know, with their offense, they're pretty good at drawing big guys away from the basket.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Levy. Jamal Levy ties it at 65.
Nice little one-on-one maneuver. They had a problem in that game matching up with Eftimore. Took him away from the goal and really hurt him. Oh, these fans are really into it. What a great environment here tonight. They passed out 5,000 T-shirts, black and gold.
Ellis knocked that pass away before Williams could get it.
Look at Levy with those long arms. 180 pounds, spinning in the lane, knocking it down, one-on-one, tying the game again. The bench reacts. Cheerleader Mr. Williams. You like to see that as a coach. Everybody involved.
Skip Prosser says if Levy can improve his handling and his outside shooting, he has the potential to be a great player.
Really working hard trying to deny the ball now. He's matched up with Williams inside. They got him on Williams inside. Williams have a lot of strength on him.
Williams gets the long pass. Blocked by Williams as he comes over. Eric Williams got a piece of Sheldon Williams shot.
Oh, score the basket.
That should be a goaltend on Deng.
Score the basket.
And Wake Forest has taken its first lead since it was 2-0.
And they're jumping with joy, baby. There's jubilation in Winston-Salem.
We've got a timeout, a 2-point game, less than 8 minutes to go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball. Presented by Staples. That was easy. And in part by Lincoln. There are those who travel and those who travel well.
14,665 people on their feet here in Winston-Salem as the Demon Deacons have only their second lead of the ball game. It's 67-65. They led 2-0. They have had a splendid second half.
Oh, they've been brilliant here in the second half. I think Paul playing under control, making good decisions. Williams on the inside. Danilos making those 2 big threes. And defensively, they've really tightened it up.
Check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, we talked about the perimeter matchups. We've also got an outstanding matchup inside. Sheldon Williams, an outstanding game. He proved too much to handle in the first matchup with those 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 blocks. Every trip down, Coach Krzyzewski is talking to his guys saying, let's get him the basketball. They're trying to isolate him. Got it to him there.
Against Eric Williams, who picked up his 3rd foul, and Sheldon Williams over Eric Williams.
Great move by Sheldon on the inside. Trying to get a little isolation here with Paul. They got Duhan back on him instead of Ewing. Duhan beats him to the spot. Good defense.
Gray, good head fake to get free, and Justin Gray knocks down another 3. Yes, 17 points.
They are feeling it, man, and they're feeling it off the adrenaline of this crowd. Just like the Cameron Crazies get the Dukies to play, right here, this crowd has got them really playing at a fever pitch.
Second place, NC State has already been beaten tonight at Clemson. Can Duke lose its 2nd game in a row in the ACC?
They got Paul playing Reddick right now. Trying to deny him the basketball. Not letting
7, now 6 on the shot clock. Duhan with a desperation shot, can't hit it.
Can't give any help off Reddick. You got to stay with him.
Wake by 3. Downing kicks it back outside to Paul. Into the corner of Downing. Williams trying to keep it alive. Dang, good rebound.
Great look by Paul. He spotted.
Oh, what a pass by Duhan to Sheldon Williams.
Oh, look at Sheldon running the court. Duhan with the great eyes and the great feed.
18 points for Sheldon Williams. 6 assists for Duhan. You won't see a better bounce pass.
Great running by Sheldon, utilizing the full court, getting down. Big man running the court. I mean, Chris Paul takes charge at that point guard slot. He really does.
Yes, he does.
He's the orchestra leader.
Williams low to Gray. Kicks it back to Downey. Got by Reddick. Beats to
Williams. Right down the gut of the defense. 2-man play. Eric Williams, a man tonight. Where has he been the last month of the season?
Tell you where he's been tonight. Right in the middle of the lane. 14 points. 10 rebounds. Ewing for 3. Offensive rebound. Dang, basket and the foul.
How is that for a big play by the diaper dandy? Good offensive rebound, the conversion. The bench into it big time. Hey, you think of the Duke tradition, it's amazing. 5 straight ACC tournament titles. No worse than 2nd in the ACC since '97. As you look at Dane with the offensive rebound, and there's the conversion. Now goes to the line. 8 straight 20-win-plus seasons. 3 national titles. 13 Final Fours. 8 National Player of the Years. Are you kidding me? I mean, what is there not to like about Duke?
Absolutely nothing. How about this for Mike Krzyzewski? In 24 years at Duke, he's been the National Coach of the Year 8 times. In 24 years, that's 1 every 3 years.
Probably should have more.
Probably.
Just like Dean Smith. Sometimes it's just taken for granted when you're up on top.
Downey kicks it outside.
Oh, is he special? Oh, do they have a special one here? That is a special diaper dandy, my friend.
Chris Paul has 20 after getting 30 against Cincinnati over the weekend. Knocked out of bounds by Duke, out to Wake. We are under 5 minutes, and the Deacons are up by 3.
Look at that bounce pass. Sheldon Williams with the catch, the jam. Great look by Duhan. And then here comes Wake Forest, right down the gut. Jam by Eric Williams. This is a great game tonight, Mike. This is a great game, buddy.
The second half especially. Both teams have been brilliant. Paul, great move to get free. Powers it up inside. How did he make that one?
I can't believe it. Can't believe it. That kid is unbelievable.
77-72. Wake with its biggest lead of the game.
Remember they beat him here last year in double overtime.
And that broke a long losing streak. Ewing kicks it out to Dockery. Dockery to Duhan. Got it.
Great ball reversal. Dockery kicking the ball out to Duhan. Wide open at the top. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul.
No basket. Paul was fouled as he went down the lane. And the foul will be on Dockery.
Look at Chris Paul. Watch his body language right here. The mayor of Winston-Salem. I mean, he's in traffic. He hangs. He makes like Baryshnikov. He's a ballerina.
If you joined us late, you have missed a beauty, but we still have 4:07 to go in this one from the Joel Coliseum in Winston-Salem, a sellout crowd of close to 15,000, and Paul knocks down his 17th point.
This kid stays in school for 4 years. He can go down in history as the best perimeter player they ever had here at Wake. If he stays in school, I hope he does. He seems to be a kid, a lot like a Tim Duncan, that school is important to him, and he wants to be a kid.
79-75. Ewing can't get in.
Nice fake.
Great fake, goes down the lane, a little floater.
What a year he's had this year. Chris Duhon has had an all-American kind of year.
His shooting percentages aren't that great, but when they need the big baskets, he's made them.
Leadership, defensive ability, distribute the basketball, all the things you want on a point guard.
Oh, what a pass, and Levy is fouled. What a brilliant no-look pass by Paul. Holy cow.
What can he do, Mike? We've seen him shoot the three. We've seen him attack the basket. Now watch the bounce pass. Look at him find the open area, drop it on a dime. I mean, this kid is special. You got to make that layup. He dropped the quarter right there, baby. That's not a dime. He dropped the quarter.
Second foul called on Sheldon Williams, and Levy will go to the line. Got an ugly-looking shot at the free throw line, even though he's a 62% shooter. The arc seems to be different every time he shoots.
That's not good, partner.
No.
That's not good.
No, usually you don't have a variety of free throws. Second one swishes through.
Hey, look at a little mug save. 5-3. What an example for all you kids out there. 14 years in the NBA. He had desire. Nobody could ever tell him he couldn't do what he wanted to do. You got to believe in your dreams and follow them.
Tonight, 18 points, 8 assists. He's hit 7 out of 11 from the floor. Now they go full court pressure.
And he's done a great job of distributing the basketball and playing under control. He hasn't taken bad shots.
And he is a fearless kid.
He's got a lot of pride, too. He was hurt so badly in the humiliation and the loss against Duke.
Duhon got him on his hip, but the little floater wouldn't go. Call back the other way. 3-on-2. He'll try to take it himself. Basket and the foul.
That's an amazing play in transition. He is so quick with the rock in his hands. It reminds me a little bit of what I've seen in John Lucas down at Oklahoma State. The way he was going coast to coast. Take a look right here. Here comes the diaper dandy. He's going to turn on the speed. And then he protects the ball, lays it on the glass. Oh, my man Garfinkel was right again. The Super Garf told me that this kid will be a big-time influence as a diaper dandy.
84% free throw shooter, completes the 6-point play. It's 83-77. The biggest lead for the Deacons tonight.
Danger time, and they've done a great job checking Reddick. Can't get free for any looks.
He's been held to 2 points on free throws.
Foul trouble certainly hurt him in the first half, but in the second half, they are matching up, not giving any help.
Williams, nice step out against Duhon. Now they lob it low, and Deng threw it intended for Williams, and Williams wasn't there.
Danger time right now for Duke. They're feeling it here right now in Wake Forest.
Could it be 2 straight losses for Duke after they were 10-0 in the ACC?
That doesn't happen too often. They only have one more road game in the ACC.
Gray with a tough shot, can't hit it. Levy got the offensive rebound, a new 35 on the shot clock.
Smart basketball IQ here. You want to manage the clock, take some time down.
Skip Prosser was immediately off the bench and pull it out a little bit. Nice catch by Strickland on a tough pass, and Strickland scores off the pass from Eric Williams.
Eric Williams found the open man. Strickland with the great cut. They were down 13, my friends. That means they've outscored Duke by 21 here in the second half.
And the Blue Devils need points. Ewing for 3, and he nailed it.
They're not going to go away. You know Duke has had a habit of always making the big play late.
Ewing has 17 as he drilled another 3, and it cut the lead to 5.
A monster 3. What a great environment here, ACC country. What a tournament it's going to be in Greensboro.
Tell tell you what, you might see the 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds in the semifinals. Coming up next on SportsCenter, Scott Van Pelt and Stuart Scott will be there. Any chance Iverson leaving Philly? You'd have some very angry people. Is your team on the bubble? And more pressure, A-Rod or Torrey?
Think about this. If you're Torrey, they say, oh, the pressure now with A-Rod. You know what? There's pressure anyway. And if I'm going to have pressure, I'd rather have pressure with A-Rod on my side.
Oh, sure.
A-Rod's a great kid, too. Super guy. He and Jeter, two classy guys, multi-millionaires, and got their heads together. Good free throw shooter with the basketball. Paul can't put him on the line. Better than 80%.
Both of these teams have excellent free throw shooters. Gray lost control of that one. Appeared to take his eye off of it. Ewing stole the ball and then stepped on the baseline.
Carl Hess right there with the call.
Tough break for Duke. They nearly had the turnover. Here's the reset. The possession arrow favors Duke right now.
Duke takes everybody's biggest hit. The poor kids, every game they come to play, it becomes the marquee game.
Gray. Levy tried to keep it alive and couldn't. Blue Devils with the ball down by 5. 1:31 and counting.
That's why Mike told us, he said, we have to be razor sharp every game. We have to meet the emotional high of the opponents.
The last 8 years, they have dominated this league. Ewing lost a great steal by Chris Paul, who is one of the nation's leaders and #1 in the ACC in stealing the basketball.
Protects the ball exceptionally well. They're spreading the court. Very tough to give help right now.
It's a two-possession game at this point with 1:03 left. Paul can't get by. Double team. Dockery ties him up, then taken by Duhan. No whistle. I thought that was a jump ball situation.
Looked that way.
Duhan gets it into Williams. Turns, contact, no whistle. Back to Duhan. Duhan into the corner. Ewing for 3. No. Dang, offensive rebound. The freshman connects again.
What an offensive rebound. Got great position. He's got those long arms. He's Mr. Versatility. Got a one-possession game right now. Watch Ewing right here. Paul's going to try to strip him. There he is with the left hand. Takes the ball, pushes him away. To get away from me. Got away with one there.
Tell you what, if you wanted to call every foul tonight that was committed, there wouldn't be any players left.
No, I wouldn't.
They let them play. Yeah. They made that clear from the beginning of the ball game that they were going to let them play, and I think it's a better basketball game when they do that.
Oh, no doubt about it. Right. You call every foul, I wouldn't make my speaking engagement tomorrow. I got to make some cash to catch you.
Here are the ACC standings. North Carolina State, if you missed it earlier, lost at Clemson. You go on the road in this league, you take your life in your own hands. They're now 2 games back of Duke, but Wake trying to change that. Wake could go to 6-5. They would move into 3rd place and just a couple of games behind NC State if they can pull off this win.
I think you're 7-9 in this league. You're a lock for the NCAAs. 7-9. I really believe that. 6-10 would be a stretch. And you look at right now, Florida State's got some really tough road games.
Duke has used its last timeout. Wake Forest has 3 left. But Dick, I think the Deacons have bigger things on their mind than just getting into the tournament. At one point this year, they were ranked 3rd in the nation before they went on that losing streak.
You know, think about this. Florida was #1 in the nation at one time, and they're not even ranked now. Fighting for survival for a bid. It's a wacky season.
J.J. Redick is not in there for the final 39.4. He has 3 personal fouls. He has been held to 2 points tonight. No field goal. Paul double team gets it to Levy, now to Downey. Downey to Williams. They're trying to burn some time. And they got it to Williams and fouled him. Williams, for a big guy, good free throw shooter, 70%.
They're going to bring Redick in right now. You got to get him on the floor.
Wake is at 14 out of 19 as a team tonight. 74%. Williams will go to the line. He has made 0 for 2.
He's a guy that I'd like to see at the line. If you Duke right now, you certainly don't want to see Chris Paul.
32.1 seconds to go. Makes the first. That is a 2-possession game now. That was the critical one.
He's had a really big game here tonight. He's been a major factor off the bench. You know, we're having fans rush on the court all over America right now, Mike. And I'm telling you, it's starting to get really dangerous, and you just hope there's control.
A couple games has been dangerous for us. They come right over top of us.
No doubt about it. I was at that Stanford, Arizona game. It was frightening down here.
Williams with 15 points. Now 16. It's 87-82.
What a factor he has been off the bench.
Now Mike Krzyzewski right now being very good with his offensive defensive substitutions. He is out of timeouts. Wake will use one of its 3 remaining. Got more ACC action coming your way on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern tomorrow night. The 16th-ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will take on Gary Williams' Maryland Terrapins in another critical ACC showdown. Those 5 teams right in the middle of the ACC standings, jockeying for position. And it's critical for teams to win at home.
You got to win on your home floor. You're exactly right, boss.
Well, Georgia Tech lost this weekend at Virginia. Pete Gillen's freshman played brilliantly in that game. Pulled off a win in Charlottesville.
Had that big 3 at the end of the game to win.
Billett, who had not hit anything the entire game, hit a 3 right at the end. It was a clutch shot.
And, you know, you got to be happy for Peter Gillen going through such a tough time. He's such a bright mind, and things have been really tough down in Virginia. Did a great job at Xavier. Here it is right now. You don't have to worry about a 3 right here. You got to get a quick score. Get right to the rack.
Duhon almost walked. Got it to Reddick. Duke using some time.
Yeah, they're making him use time. Good defense.
Ewing, tough shot, banks it in.
Gets it back to a 1-possession game. Gets down the free throw shooting right now, Mike. You've seen it so often. Convert on a foul line, you go to the locker room with a W. You miss, play continues.
16.8 seconds to go in this game. Skip Prosser trying to have back-to-back huge wins, knocking off Cincinnati on Sunday, hoping to get Duke tonight. Strickland goes to the line for the first time. He is only a 57% free throw, but hits that one.
And contagious. He was the star of stars last year here. They carried him into the crowd after the game. Scored 10 points in the second overtime.
Well, how clutch is that?
Skip going for his 8th consecutive 20-game win season, 5 at Xavier.
In and out on the second one. Duke needs 2 buckets and not much time.
Want to foul any 3-point shooters here if you're waiting.
Duhon tries to feed inside. Paul has it. And the foul with 6.5 seconds to go.
Great job stopping J.J. Reddick here tonight.
Chris Paul with an early celebration. And what a difference. A month ago at Cameron Indoor. Chris Paul, who had been hounded by Duhon, almost in tears. Tonight he can celebrate in front of the home fans. He said that he had played in this Coliseum a few times as a high school player, but never had a bigger thrill in his life when he put on a Wake Forest uniform for the first time and came out here. And Skip Prosser has done an exceptional job of recruiting North Carolina talent and getting them to stay in state and come to Wake.
You know, he talked about him having a big thrill. Skip Prosser got a big thrill when Mr. Paul said, yes, I'm coming to Wake Forest. As you look at Chris Collins, a fierce competitor.
Paul has had 17 points in the second half.
Just a great talent. There's no doubt about it. He's a sensational talent. My choice is Diaper Dandy of the conference because of how valuable he is to this team. The Duke kids have a lot of pride, and trust me, they will recover.
23 points for Paul. The last 2 games against highly ranked opponents, he has had 53, count it, 53 points in that
the celebration.
Wake Forest has knocked off Duke. The Blue Devils have lost their 2nd in a row in the ACC. A huge win for Skip Prosser. His team will go to 6-5. The final score, the Deacons beat the Blue Devils 90-84. This This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Doris Burke and Dick Vitale, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Now it's SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt and Stuart Scott.
Scott and Stuart, we got North Carolina and Maryland in the studio. Oh, this place is going bananas, Mike. Going bananas. Whoa!
No need to go anywhere from the euphoria on Tobacco Road. SportsCenter coming up with news out of Colorado. A midnight Eastern press conference from Denver.